You guys all know me. I'm Vinnie, actor, filmmaker, and I started Film Festival in Staten Island in 2022. And the whole point of it really was not really just to show movies, but do what we do tonight is kind of network, which we're already starting, where it's, hey, you do work, you need help, you need a camera guy. I'm an actor. Oh, you want to be in a movie? All right, maybe I'll put you in somewhere. But that's pretty much the game plan. And so with the film festival, filmmakers have really until April 1st to submit their films. So far, we've had close to 100 submissions. We have three celebrity judges who are like industry professionals, and basically they sit down and they watch all the film submissions and they kind of go through it and pick pretty much a variety, figure out, hey, is this film appropriate for, our audience? Does this have a good storyline? Does this have good cinematography? Does this have really great acting? Is this a film that's going to make people cry? Is this a film that people are going to go and want to actually pay $10 to get into the festival because that's how much it costs to get in? And we kind of just do it one night. A lot of people have been requesting, why don't you stretch it out to be a week long? But that's a lot of work for a small crew that puts on this festival behind the scenes. So we kind of wanted to make a film festival for all different levels, whether you've been making films your whole life or you never even picked up a camera before and you want to get inspired to make your own little short video because you have a story to tell. So, of course, we started that right at the height of the pandemic. Everyone was, of course, going on actor strikes and writer strikes and unions and all that. And I saw a lot of people on Facebook were unhappy about that because, of course, they were out of work. And I thought, what could we do? What could I do personally to bring everyone back together and get rolling on projects? Because we even have people in this room that say, hey, I want to make a movie, but I don't have any friends that like to make movies with me. So I said, let's put a film festival together, bring everyone in one room. And, I hate talking to people, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes and bring people together. And that's what we're doing tonight and what we're doing for the festival in the last 3 years. We have been doing it. So, welcome, Bryan. We're just getting started, rolling out the details. So basically, Saturday, June 15th, uh, the film festival is happening in Port Richmond neighborhood of Staten Island, New York. If you went to the festival last year or the year before, you know where it's at. So you get your tickets in advance. We don't do tickets at the door. I know even Hector bought a bunch of tickets and he didn't even come, but that's okay because
What happened was I was supporting the festival with at least
At least.
financial, at least
There you
yes.
financial.
go.
Hey, we
Here,
appreciate that.
here.
That's awesome. See, even David can buy a ticket and he's all the way in
Well, because
California.
I've done that too. I want to support it. I'll buy tickets to events just to support. Good job, buddy.
6 o'clock, the doors open, you walk in, you get a red carpet selfie. A lot of people are, hyped up about that because it is like for some people, once in a lifetime opportunity. They get to experience that. We invite the local news stations and media to come out, do red carpet interviews. And even Tramelle, he was a filmmaker last year and got to experience that. He can probably share his experience. It was really cool to see because he brought his entire family. So it was like the mom and everybody came and it was just like a family affair. So that was awesome. And so it's cool to see that. Then you have like about an hour to basically mingle with everyone and say, hey, hey, I saw you on the Zoom, you're Hector, right? Cool, nice to meet you. Hope you like my movie tonight and blah, blah, blah. And you basically the networking continues. Then you take a seat around 7 o'clock, and we have 15 short films that play. We have filmmakers, actors from all over the place, and it's just a cool experience. Then we close the night out by a little Hollywood themed award ceremony. And Tramelle, actually, it was his first year. I think it was your first ever film festival. And he's sitting there and he's sitting there and they go, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the best picture and the audience favorite award. And he's sitting there going, no, it's not me. And we're like, yeah, it's you. Get up there on stage and give your acceptance speech, dude. And so that's really fun. We do that because that's like a film festival thing you do. And and it's fun to give recognition, and it kind of also helps you build up your portfolio, your resume. If it's a film you're really passionate about and you're like, I want everyone to see this, it definitely helps because then you can say, hey, I won a film. I won the Best Picture award at the Staten Island Film Festival in New York, in my hometown of Staten Island. I won a film festival, and that just gives you a higher recognition. If you walk in and say, yeah, I'm a filmmaker, well, what have you done? At least you can say, hey, I had a movie in a film festival. So it does help in one sense. And that's all we're trying to do is just help people, and especially from Staten Island, because as you know, it does not have like, it's not Manhattan, it's not Hollywood, it's not California, it's the forgotten borough, right? What we're gonna do for the next 45 minutes to an hour, I just want to like talk to you guys, see where you're at in your journey with filmmaking. Maybe you're not even a filmmaker. Maybe you never even made videos in your life, but let's have a chat. So why don't we put him on the spot? I choose the quietest guy in the group. We're gonna pick Robert over here, and he can tell us a little bit about his name, where he is from, where you're residing, and a little bit about your experience with acting, filmmaking, and take it away, Robert.
So my name is Robert Budd. I'm from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Right now, I live in the Poconos. My experience with acting is, let's see, 3 short films, another film that was not ever finished or published. I worked 21 years in the haunted house business, scaring the living crap out of people. And now I am also training to be independent wrestling manager.
Okay.
So, but I like to entertain. That's why I wanted to get in the haunted house. It's just it's fun, not just scaring people, but you get like 10-15 seconds with each group, and you get to do your act and show them what you got. And if you scare them, you scare them.
Nice, nice. And you attended the film festival last year. It was your first
Yes,
time, and you got
yeah,
to be a volunteer and help behind the scenes and see
yes, I did.
how it all works out. And
And
what was
I
your
will do it again. As long as I can do it again this year, I will.
nice? What was your favorite part about the festival?
Um, just seeing everybody. Well, personally, my favorite was watching all the films, but then the best part is everybody clapping for everybody and recognizing everybody, and you know, seeing everybody happy and that they were just there enjoying themselves.
And
Yep.
Antonio, since you're another PA guy, you can tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, your name, and what do you do?
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm a troublemaker, I guess. Um, I prefer being a camera operator rather than a director, but I've directed a few short things of my own, but I prefer being behind camera. Um, Other than that, made a bunch of short films, worked on a couple of independent, like longer films, um, and that's about it so far.
And you've been on the other side too of the camera, but you don't really
Yeah,
like that, do you?
unfortunately, I don't like acting, but I do it when I'm forced to.
Yeah, let's go to the top over here to Hector. Let's give a brief background on you. I like the shirt by Floor, right? Nightmare Before Christmas? Yeah,
Yep, got it for
nice.
Christmas.
Go figure, right? You didn't get it for Thanksgiving? Come on.
Hey, so my name is Hector Valle, and I'm a writer. I've been writing for about 40 years, and I've published about 45, 50 novels on Amazon. I've written a couple of screenplays which have not been produced. I have 5 now that are in Film Freeway. They're looking at to see whether or not somebody, has the guts to produce one of my films, because unfortunately my films are a little bit offensive on some points. Some people just, think. One thing I was told is that this would have been a great film for the 70s, because in the 70s they didn't care. But now you can't talk about these things. You can't say these things. You can't have this topic. And yet I'm looking at films being produced now and released now that are worse than anything I've ever written. And I'm not talking about quality. I'm just talking about the plot.
Mhm.
I've done I've done a little acting. My daughter and I doing a few short stories. I produced the Book of Job, a rock gospel musical, in which I took the Book of Job and I turned it into an opera, using secular music and gospel music to tell the story. There's no dialogue in it; it's just the music, and it went off kind of well. And if you go to my page, I think you can see my page in the chat. You can go to my video page. You can see some of the videos that I've produced, or some of the trailers that I've edited, trying to keep my hand in things. And I'm presently working on a book called what's the book I called? I don't know. I forget. The Birds of Prey. It's about 13 women who get together and they basically go, off grid, to do the vigilantes basically, and each of them has a different expertise which they use in order to do this, and they're being led by an AI program called Marai, multi-authorized redundant artificial intelligence, who has access to all they basically can get into any program, so they can get into cameras, computers, and everything to get the information that these women need in order to catch the bad guy. So I'm having fun, basically.
Yeah, right.
I'm having a good time.
It's
You
kind
know,
of fun to play the role of God in a sense, to create your own universe and
I
uh,
love that. You have no idea how
yeah,
wonderful it is to just get paper down and just write something the way you want to write. You write the novel you want to read. You write the
right.
script of the movie you want to see. It's basically that. If anybody else doesn't care, that's not your problem.
David, if you want to officially introduce yourself and tell all these folks that you're not in New York.
Oh, Sacramento, California. I'm not sure where the body count is here, but hello from Sacramento. I'm a graphic designer, airbrush artist. I do dabble in video somewhat. When I go ride my motorcycle, I do a lot of GoPro videos, and I've done like the 360 videos, which are really cool and very technical. But on my YouTube channel, you can literally see the video, and I'm sure you've all seen those 360 videos where you move your phone and the camera pans around. Those are really cool. So I've played with all that kind of stuff, but I've yet to like create a video like in a storyline like that. But I've usually I dabble more on the graphic design for Vinnie's posters or print designs and things like that, booklets, pamphlets, business cards, all that good stuff. And then here's my latest piece here, Harry Potter. I'm doing a lot of black and white these days. My SinisterCon. Here's the pinhead. I did this. This one
Wow.
sold, and so at the SinisterCon and that weekend that we're talking about, Vinny, the June the 13th, whatever.
Yeah,
That weekend this year is the Sinister. It's called the SinisterCon. Look it up, SinisterCon in Sacramento, and it's all Sinisters. Frankenstein. Here's another one, Phantom. So these were this size. They were pretty big. This is like a 24 by 36, and so I've been trying to dabble in videos and video. Everybody's just the what is it called? The leaps and bounds that video has taken now with phones, and it's proliferated now. Like my grandmother's doing videos now, TikTok videos, and all that stuff that's on the news right now. It's just amazing. And everybody, like Vinny says, just use your phone to video record stuff. So I'm going to take that tip. But I have a question for all you guys. So yeah, I airbrush, I paint, I brush, I graphic design, all that stuff. But I don't put my content out. I'm not a creator. I'm not a digital creator, content creator. I don't like to videotape myself airbrushing. I do it, but I don't go back and edit it and try to put it online. I'll sort of do like a real quick video, blah, blah, blah. So just to get myself out of the way. So that's what I do. But I have a question for all you guys. Nice to meet you all, you guys. Um, I used to use Adobe, right? Because I was working for a firm and I had a, what was that in Premiere?
Mhm.
So Premiere is gold, right? But I don't have $80 a month for Premiere, right? So I'm just wondering what, as video guys, or if as upcoming video guys and movie producers and things like that, what do you guys use to put your things together? Nice to meet you guys.
I was going to jump in and say I check out every free app that I can. And if I like it, I'll do the 7-day free trial. And I only do things that have 4.5 stars or more. I have an Android, so I do a lot of it on my phone. I also have a MacBook. If I like it enough, I'll actually purchase it and put it on my MacBook. DaVinci, I know, is the standard. That's really the one that I'm willing to shell out money for.
Tramelle, I know you are in the middle of editing a big production, so what are you using?
Well, my editor, we usually use DaVinci Resolve. Um, I mean, I shot with a Red camera, so that's probably, as far as I know, one of the only softwares that I believe can, handle that properly. But for something that's not too complicated, I wouldn't recommend Resolve. It can be a pain in the butt, but that's what I usually use. I started off with Premiere, or even when I first started shooting film, when I learned about film, I was shooting on my camera and I was using iMovie. I'm not even sure if they have that anymore. I haven't used it in like 5 years, but
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah, right
just
now yeah.
yeah,
Sorry, but
no worries. I personally use Final Cut Pro. I've been using it since 2007. I've dabbled in DaVinci, and like David said, honestly, a lot of the interfaces are the same. You have your window for importing footage, you have your preview monitor, and you have your output monitor, and then you have the timeline where basically you're chopping it up and putting your clips together and working on different layers, just like kind of David. I think I've talked to you about this before too. I think you would catch on quickly because you do have that experience with Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator where you work with your layers, and video is very similar. Antonio, what do you use to edit? Because obviously you got to edit your films that we've seen somehow. How do you edit?
I use Movie Maker.
A movie maker. I started using that like in 1996, man. But yeah, okay. So we got Robert, we got Hector, we got David. Thanks, David. Hopefully you got a couple answers out of that. And then Antonio, and then Bryan. I know you mentioned you talked a little bit tonight, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I actually just got back from an on-location shoot, but it was amazing. I started out acting. I have 2 years of method, and I never really considered going behind the scenes. And I'm trying to think of how I ended up. I was helping with something, and someone I know offered me a job as a production assistant. And I've seen what they go through on set, and I'm like, is that something I want to put myself through? And so I chose to do it, and I've been doing it now. This is now, I think, my third film as a production assistant. And what's amazing is I have learned everything. I don't know a lot about everything, but I know everything. Like I've, done, boom mic, I've done slate, I've done lighting, I've done electric, I've done staging, I've done continuity. I mean, I've done everything. And I just absolutely love the fact that I know all of these jobs because it makes it easier for me to really pick and choose what I want to focus on.
That's really cool. And I don't know if you want to share it publicly, but you told me you were working on something. You started documenting some footage. Tell us about that, Brian.
Yes. So, I've been through quite a few things, and we had talked about this at the last meeting. I ended up, just life happens, and life happened to me. And I was going to create a documentary for this year's film festival. And I got so deep into it that I thought I didn't want to rush it. And I was like, I could do so much more with this and present it next year. And that was why, I really, really wanted to enter this year, but I know what I could create for next year if I give myself the time.
Right.
And especially now having, I have some equipment of my own. I also have done the networking now where I can borrow equipment.
Yeah.
So I'm going from working on, my cell phone with a pack of 3 Saramonics to, if I want lighting, if I want to interview myself to do, voiceover, I can do all that now.
Well, before we jump to Tramelle, I know you mentioned dogs, Brian, which is very interesting because I'm going to bring on this guy who's got the camera down here, and he's going to bring a superstar to the film festival, a celebrity guest that you guys will all get to take pictures with. I met this guy at an Italian festival, and he said, "Hey, you make movies?" And I said, "Should I tell him I make movies? I don't know." And I said, "Yeah, I do. Why?" And he goes, "I have a documentary style for you." And we ended up spending the fall time documenting a story about his dog. And I'll let you guys let him fill you in briefly. Tom, can you hear us? And are you there?
Yeah, how you doing, guys? What's up, man? Here, you hear me? There he is.
Yeah, we can hear you. A nice poster there. Justice for Ninja. There you go.
There
Um,
he is. Get to meet him at the festival.
Yeah. So Tom, you're not a filmmaker. You could be an actor if you wanted to, but tell us a little bit about we did a project about Ninja and tell us who Ninja is.
Yeah, Vinnie, I hooked up with Vinnie. I was looking for about, I don't know how long you've on, like 8 months. We're looking for someone to do a story about my dog, Ninja. Ninja has a very actually, how should I say it? Very inspirational story. And it's my dog. And actually I could probably call him in here, but I met up with Vinny. He was at like I said, he was telling you an Italian festival up here where I am, and I couldn't find nobody. I was trying to contact all these people. No one would help, or no one could do it, or I don't know what. And they were just like blowing me off. So I guess they didn't think the story was worth it, or whatever it was. So I was like, no, it's no problem. Eventually I'll find somebody. So I went to the Italian Film Festival here in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I see this young kid over there with a camera. Like, that kid ain't gonna know nothing about this stuff. I ain't gonna go. So I'm looking around. I see the one guy, an older guy. He had a big camera there, and I went up to him in between. I didn't cut him off, of course, because he was filming. But as soon as he took a break, I said, "Can you do? You know how to do screenwriting or any of that stuff or filmmaking?" He goes, "Well, I do," but he pointed to his shirt. He worked for a company, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So he couldn't do it. And I seen the young fella right there standing on the side with his camera, and I said, let me give it a shot. So I went up to him. I said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "My name is Tom." I said, "I was wondering if you know how to do screenwriting," because I had a guy that said he would do it, but it's a long story. So then he goes to me, he goes, "Yeah, I could do it." So he got a little interested because, of course, he has a couple German Shepherds or beautiful dogs, and he was like, "Wow, this seems pretty interesting." So I said, "Well, look it up." So I didn't know him really. He didn't know me at Adams. I took him over to meet my family, and he said, "Hello, hello, everybody's hello." And then we went on our merry way, and I had his card, and I actually I looked him up, and I said, "Holy mackerel, look at this guy." I said, "What the heck did I just step into here?" He's all over the place. I was like, "Wow, that guy, somebody." I said, this is crazy." And then I see he's from California. He came up. He was doing this stuff. I was, looking him up, and we did a documentary. It's called "The Name That Fits the Dog." It's on YouTube. Guys could check it out. And it's the story about what we went through, and it's really, like I said, it's a crazy, crazy story. and what we went through. I guess you have to see the documentary and hopefully you understand what happened.
I saw that on the parade.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was it.
I saw the
Yeah,
little
he
clothes on
was
the
on
parade. I saw your
TV.
dog too.
Vinny actually made Ninja a movie star. That's what he did. He made Ninja a movie star. The whole area knows him. I mean, but like I said, his story is amazing. No one should go through what we went through to save their pet. I'm telling you, because that guy, my wife right here, is a nurse. And if it wasn't for her, the dog wouldn't be here today. So
Yeah, they want to put him down 3 times, and we didn't listen to put him down, and he's alive. You know, men have prostate issue. My dog has something similar, a cyst in the prostate. That is no way to dying, and
it's not a critical illness. It's saying it's not
the
that
thing
critical.
because they don't remove it, then they're supposed to be removing that they didn't do it. The dog get worse and worse and almost die, but it's died. And whatever we did in the 8 months to keeping alive was a lot, and we did it because we love our pet.
I'm wearing one of them right now. So Tom is actually one of the sponsors for our festival, and he was kind enough to get us some shirts. And there's his factory right there. He just in Dunmore, PA. So if you guys need shirts or anything, need shirts to
Yeah, man.
advertise your movie or something, yeah, well, you guys will all get to meet, Tom and his family and his superstar dog will get to walk the red carpet. So we're excited about that. And then speaking of the film experience, last year, like I mentioned at the beginning, we had a filmmaker who entered his first film festival ever, ended up walking home with the top grand prize, and Tramelle Stroman in the house. What's up, man?
How's it going, man? That's a tough story to follow, Thomas's story, but how's it going, everyone? My name is Tramelle Stroman. You can call me Mel. Um, my story is pretty simple. Well, no, it's not simple. It's simple to me. I'm from Staten Island, New York. I'm a filmmaker, writer. Started off writing. That's my passion. I love it. I plan on writing the rest of my life. I got into directing. I wrote my first short film, called Maria, in 2021. Around May 2021, we filmed, and I was recommended to direct it by one of my classmates. They said, "Who would know the characters better than you? You wrote it." So I decided to, take what experience I learned from film school. I was nervous about directing, but I did it. And it went pretty well. I won an award at the Staten Island Film Festival. We were nominated for, I believe, 5 other film festival awards, Golden Screenplay Award nominee. So I mean, I love what I do. I feel like I learned filmmaking under fire because I went to film school at the beginning of the pandemic. That was not the plan. Most of it was by Zoom. So honestly, I feel like I'm self-taught. Besides the basic things, we had to kind of, you sign up for film school, 30, 40 grand, and then we weren't even able to access the equipment. So I had to shoot a lot of it on my phone, a lot of YouTube, just passionate about it. Communicated with Vinnie about the festival. He got me and my family. Yeah, it was an amazing night. So everything went well with that. Right now, I'm done with production. We're in post production on my third short film titled Inhale. I'm going to submit that. We'll see how everything goes with it, but I'm excited to be here. That's pretty much it.
But yeah, well, again, June 15th, everyone mark your calendar. Even if you don't have a film in the festival, still come out, support the other filmmakers. And I mean, hey, this year we have a special VIP dog coming to the festival. So if that don't get you to come, then I don't know what else will. But
Let's see, it's 2:22 a.m.
nice, nice. We were about to wrap up and then we saw you jump in. We said, hold on, hold on,
Oh,
hold on. But hey, no worries. So we went around the room, we introduced each other, talked about our background in film and television, and give us a little background on you.
well, I started acting and singing when I was 5. And around 18, I went to American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York City back in 1980, 89. I performed in over 30 musicals, starred in 27 of them. Rusty and Starlight Express were here in Bochum, Germany in 1991, 92, did a highlights album. And then after that, I went back to the States. I did background work basically in film and TV to start with, Law and Order, Conduct Unbecoming episode. I was in As the World Turns, assistant director from that. We did a show on New York City public access TV called Fifth Floor Harrison, where I played a rock star on that for 5 episodes back in '93. And then in '95, I think it was that we filmed, I filmed the Sublime Video Santeria out in LA on the old Dumpling Gang Disney lot out there. And I'd be that goatee cowboy that gets scared and runs into the saloon in that video that Mick G directed. I think it was one of his first projects out there in Hollywood, actually. And then,
Nice.
I raised a couple families, and now I'm trying to get back into the business behind the camera now, taking this NYU film and TV essentials class through Yellow Brick this year to get to learn more about working behind the camera.
Good catching up with you guys. Look forward to seeing your projects and movies. And again, any questions on film projects or whatever you want to collaborate or something, I'm easy to find. Just hit me up and we'll work on some projects together. So have a good
Super.
night, everyone, and we'll keep you updated on the next Zoom session.
Night, everybody.
Night,
Nice to meet you,
thanks.
Cliff.
Good night.